through. The bowler's not happy there. It's gone straight through.
Oh, he's kicked the ball back.
The ball.
Oh,
he's frustrated.
Sure that's very good. It wouldn't happen in the llamas, that sort of attitude. No?
Well, I think it happens that many times. We probably get used to it. Okay.
So the llamas are not as perfect as one led to believe.
If you let one go, if you London Bridge one, then it is literally water under a bridge. So we forget about it.
So what's the most redeeming factor about the llama group? Would it be camaraderie, or would it be inspiration? What do you get out of it, Boothie?
We get a bit of both. Obviously, we get the off-the-field antics and on the field as well. But there's
I don't give too much away, Boothie. Do you have any mentors in the group?
Yeah, I've had a couple. Yeah, there's a lot of role models in the team. There's a lot of guys you can learn a lot from.
So who's your favourite?
Favourite llama? Off the field, I have to go Benny Cooper. Oh, it's at the ground.
This is...
Can he get there? Can he get there? Oh, he's tripping over his 4 runs. He picked the gap out there right in the middle of the 2 fielders. There was calls to catch it in the air, but the fielders couldn't get around to it, and it's trickled over for 4. But going back to your question, Paul, off the field, I'd have to go Benny Cooper. On the field, you're looking at the likes of Brad Tarr for his 4,000 llama runs that he's amassed over the years. Brendan McDonald, over 100 wickets for llama.
That's a great shot down the ground there, going back for 2. I'm surprised you've mentioned Ben Cooper as an inspirational man off the field and as a mentor. Obviously, I'm missing something. Can you explain more?
Benny's a legend of a man. And
ACST PHUKET.
I think the more you know him, the more you'll discover that he's a top. Oh, he's a top guy. There's a man out there.
Oh, the legend put that one down. Gee, good effort, I must say. Good effort.
Kartik on 24.
Sharub facing
into ball.
Oh,
white ball. White ball.
So pass it. I'll put that on facing.
Well.
Sharuf over the back.
He's nicked it away.
He should get a couple
They'll
out of that.
They'll be looking for 2. Throw comes in. Oh, it's going to be tight. It's going to be... Oh, could have been tight with a direct hit.
They're going for 3.
They're coming back for 3. There's nobody at the non-strikers. Sensible decision to keep hold of the ball there. 3 runs to the glorious. Yeah, going back to your question there, Paul, with the llama, the role models on the field. Brad Tarr with his 4,000 llama runs. The McDonald family, over 200 wickets as well. There's a lot to be said for that.
So, Boothie, you just saw 3 runs there. Why is that so foreign to the llamas? You saw 3 runs there. Why is that so foreign to the llamas?
Yeah. Oh. Can he get around? Can he? Oh, it could be 4.
Oh, my goodness gracious me. Great effort.
Legends have been a little bit sloppy in the field there. Couple of chances gone down. Couple of balls gone through. Glorious in a strong position as they head, as we go into the final over. 5 deliveries. 5 big deliveries here.
65.
Last over coming up.
Kartik's on 28.
On strike. Kartik's on strike. Swell. Red pads.
65.
65 going into the last.
Even in.
Big shot, big swing. Gets it inside edge. He's going to scamper back for 2, is he? Yes, he is. Oh, there could be more. There could be more. Is anyone backing up? No, they're not. They're looking for more. They're coming back for the third. Are they going to go for the fourth? Yes, they are. 4 runs for the Glorious. Oh, they're looking again. They're looking again. He's going again. No, he's not.
4 runs.
Good work there at the non-strikers.
Boothie, 4 runs. When was the last time the Llamas ran 4?
That did happen last year, actually, on a couple of occasions.
Did it?
Yeah, it nearly ruled a few guys out for the tournament, but they did manage to run a 4.
So no 4s, no running 4s this tournament?
Not this year. We've kind of after last year, oh, big shot there. Big shot. Can he get round? No, he can't. It's a 1 bounce 4. These are key runs here. Key runs for the Glorious as the rain starts to come down at the ACG. Hopefully it's just a passing shower. Swarook on 25. Can he retire with a big hit here? Can he? Oh, big shot. He's not quite got it. They're settling for the 1. They take the 1. Yeah, going back to your question there, Paul, about running 4s. I think it was decided before the start of the tournament we're not going to do it this year because, like I said, it ruled out players last year, and we don't know. Have you got a defib down here, Paul? Have you got a defib? Have you got a defibrillator? Have you got a defibrillator at the ACG?
Oh, no, I'm not sure.
Well, I think if we started running 4s, then we might have one. So we're probably better off. We're probably better off leaving it.
But that's it. 4 buys. Lost track here for a moment. We're back on there. And the score is 65. 2 balls to come. Thanks, Kim.
2 balls to come.
Vivan.
The rain starts to come round. Can the bowler grip the ball there? Good delivery. Big shot. Oh! He's found the gap. There's going to be some running here. Man comes round in the deep. Can he stop the 3? Yes, he can. 2 runs to the Glorious. And
Sharif, have to retire. Retirement, please.
Kartik's retired. Kartik has retired. Well batted, Kartik.
Yeah, great effort. There's a short run there.
Short run. Go back. Kartik.
Kartik back.
Go back. Short run.
Just when Neil thought he was going to get a bit of a look.
There's a short run there. Question is, did he do it on purpose? What do you think, Paul? Did he do it on purpose to land on 29 and put this ball out the park?
No. You're suggesting match fixing. That's only the Llamas that are involved in that.
We'll see it. Big shot.
Oh! Yeah, no, I wouldn't be suggesting anything like that. The Llamas are the only team, I believe, that are involved in that sort of episodes.
Well,
is match fixing part of your culture?
We do a lot of things. We do a lot of things on and off the field, but I can assure you that match fixing definitely isn't one. We're.
So Boothie, before you move on and deny everything,
Yep.
I just wanted to ask a few questions about the Llamas. I mean, they're a great squad. They're donating a lot of money to the kids in Thailand's cricket, apparently. Yep. Raised some money last night again. Kim handed over some money. Apparently there's more to come. We have 3,000 bahts coming to the kids in Thailand cricket. I haven't actually seen the kids in Thailand's cricket yet, but apparently they exist. Thanks to Luke with his Rubik cube antics. I'm not sure if the kids in Thailand cricket are actually the kids in Thailand cricket or most of the kids from the CBB kids in Thailand cricket, but we'll find out once before. But thanks for that. Getting back to the Llamas though, look, they've got a reputation for being a strong club, melded together well, a combination of young players, young up-and-coming stars like Luke, middle of the road people like yourselves. But you're starting a bit of a reputation of choking towards the end in some of the finals, I've noticed. Checking back over the records, you sometimes often get to finals, but you choke on the day. Hoping to see no choking today in the Shield final?
Yeah, well, we're hoping for 2 finals today. Globetrotters have done their job, and they're in the final. The Dongs are in action at 11:30. Hopefully, if this rain stays off, looking to get into another final. So we could walk away here with 2 trophies today.
Yeah.
And that'll be massive for the club, for the people of Lama. To bring back 2 trophies would be massive, and the celebrations will continue as we leave Phuket onto Llama Island when we come back with the trophies.
Yeah, well,
That's
hopefully
the
in the process you'll shrug off that reputation of being chokers in finals.
Well, today's that day. Today's that day. We're going to put it right.
Yeah, good. At the end of the day.
Yeah, that's true. As Mark Stone here has rightly just pointed out, we got a lot of South Africans in the squad who definitely do have a reputation of choking in finals and semi-finals. So, you know, they've brought that along to the club, but we got Mark Stone here, and he's going to be doing everything to put that right today, aren't you, Mark?
We'll win in the final session, that's for sure.
Yeah. Again, speaking of Mark Stone, I met Mark on the first night, actually. Unfortunately, in fact. But Mark told me about his exploits over the years. Apparently, he's probably the #1 batsman in your club.
He's definitely up there. We've seen glimpses of brilliance from Mark. He does have a habit of getting in and then getting out, but he's had a good year. And yeah, his main performance is not actually his batting. It's his fines master work that he does after the game.
Yeah,
that's his true skills. That's his true skills as a fines master.
I suppose that's more important than any exploits out on the oval.
That's it. You know, if he ever was to leave Llama, which we hope he doesn't, I think rather than his batting, his fines master work would be missed.
Yeah.
Would be missed deeply.
And actually, while I've got you here, I don't want to tread on the territory that you may not be able to answer, but I've heard a bit of a rumour around the traps that Brad Tarr's not particularly happy, and he's put himself in the draft leading up to the next competition and tournament. The CBBs are very interested.
Oh, is that true? Well, we've not heard that, but that will come up in the fines. We've got a fine session later on.
Yeah,
that'll be mentioned.
No, he'll probably deny it, but
it'll be scrutinised and it'll be questioned, and we will get to the bottom of that.
No, well, there's a lot of conversations going on around, but Brad will deny most of that.
Well, he'll definitely be questioned about it.
Someone's going up to ask him now, I think. Big Dad Benny Cooper, no, he's denying it. Yeah. So, getting back to llamas, how long have you been involved as a llama?
Just over 2 years as a llama. 2 happy years. We come close to the final this year. Sadly, didn't quite make it. But yeah, 2 happy years as a llama.
As a new llama, do you go through any initiation to get as a llama member?
Yeah, you do have to pass a test.
And what is that?
The basic. It's called the no dickhead test. So you've just got to answer a few questions, just to basically confirm you're not a dickhead.
Okay.
Once you get through that, you're in the club.
We're having a play stop for half an hour while this rain subsides. Anybody down there who wants to come up from one of your teams, I'd appreciate Eastern Knights, now they're out of the competition, or the Wreckers, have a bit of a chat about your team. Boothie's opening up a bit here. I didn't think he would. We're getting down to some nitty-gritty here. He's now confirmed Brad Tarr is interested in maybe putting his name up for the draft, and Brad's nodding away, so that we've confirmed that particular rumour.
Well, yeah.
It's a bit of a rumour file at the moment, but now it's a fact.
The rumour mill. We didn't know that, but we do now.
Well, you know, Brad...
There will definitely be questions there.
I don't know how financially off Brad is, but, you know, something like a 200,000 baht contract over the first 2 tournaments, you can't really knock that, can you?
Well, yeah. Yeah, we'll get to the bottom of that. But I don't want to say too much because these are only rumours at this stage.
Yeah, fair enough. But will Mark be onto it tonight at the fine session?
Yeah, we'll be on to him. He did have a lot of beers last night,
did he?
But he might be having quite a lot more tonight, if that rumour's true.
I don't really want to say publicly, but I have had a couple of conversations with Mark to see whether to get him over the line.
Yeah.
He's been a bit coy in the negotiations at the moment. So Brad, what would it take Brad to change clubs?
I think his heart's with Lama. I'd be very surprised the day I'd see Brad Tarr play for anyone but Lama.
I understand he actually has played for the CBBS before. Is that true?
I didn't know that. There'll be another question later on.
Okay.
We've got the fines master. I can see him noting stuff down there. Yep, it's all been noted down. They'll all be asked. But wow, the Rains decided to
Settle in a bit.
yeah settle in. You live local, Paul? What's the? Do you live local?
Not local, but they tell me that these constantly should wash over in half an hour.
Should wash over. Let's hope so.
Now, getting back to another one of the Lama legends, Mark Burns.
Mark
Now,
Burns, yep.
I've been in the commentary box with Mark Burns, and it's becoming a bit monotonous about learning his exploits in batting and bowling. He's told me about a number of times where he's got you over the line, particularly in finals. Is that true?
I know he's played for Lama for many years. He has got a Saturday League under his belt. And he has got Phuket Sixes last year. We won the bowl. He was part of the squad, did a great job there. And he's looking for another one today. You know, he's in the final with the Globetrotters. He's had a good tournament. He'll be looking to add to that collection today, but he's definitely got some trophies under his belt for Lama. Sadly, not of most recent times in the Hong Kong Cricket League, as he's now residing in the UK. But yeah, he's definitely got some Lama silverware and a lot of experience under his belt. So he'll be bringing that to the Globetrotters today as they head into the final.
So was that a surprise result for you with the Dings and the Globetrotters today? The Globetrotters getting up, or could have gone either way?
I thought that the Dings needed TJ to come off. I thought that TJ was the key man, and Brendan McDonald with the ball. Brendan pulled up injured, sadly couldn't bowl. TJ was run out again, which again, there will be questions. And yeah, there will be questions not only in the Lama fine session, but around the world there'll be this lingering question of match fixing. We hope it's not true. But yeah, I fancy maybe was just edging towards the Globetrotters. But I thought TJ could do some damage there today. Sadly, he didn't. So yeah, the Globetrotters are in the final. If we get that far, hopefully we do.
You're in the final of the Shield, the Globetrotters.
Globetrotters in the final of the Shield, yeah. I'm not sure who they're playing.
They're playing the
winners of this.
They're playing the Wreckers Abu Dhabi.
They're playing Abu Dhabi Wreckers.
Yeah. Now, I think you've got to get on top of Mikhail, the great batsman for the Wreckers. If you can get him out early like they did TJ today, I think you're well on the way path to victory. Have you had any tactics of bowling to Mikhail?
Well, I think the Lama way is we don't really prepare.
Yeah.
You know, we just turn up on the ground.
Yeah.
Whoever comes out to bat or bowl against us, the word in the song, we'll smash them to the boundary and we'll smash you with a seam.
Very strategic approach to the game.
Yeah, strategic approach. That's the song though. We'll hit you to the boundary and we'll smash you with a seam. And that'll be sung tonight if the Globetrotters bring back a trophy, or the Dongs.
Yeah.
That'll be sung long into the night. But that's the prep. There isn't much preparation for the batters or the bowlers.
Must be difficult for you guys after a game like that. You've got obviously the Globetrotters high, bouncing around, you know, preparing for a big final, and then you've got the Dings, you know, sulking around, wondering what could have been. How do you manage that in a team environment?
Yeah, that's a tough one. We knew this morning and we knew last night that sadly one of the teams was going to be going home. But also on the positive side, one of the teams was going to go to the final. So it was one of them. Me as a neutral playing for the Dongs, either side I was happy to win. You know, in the camp, the Dings will be hurting now. But also, I'm sure they'll get behind the Globetrotters in their final. That's the spirit we have here at Lama. you know, together as one.
Is that the spirit? Yeah.
That's the spirit, together as one. Set by Tom Woods, the chairman. He'll be happy this tour, as we've got a lot of llamas that have come to Phuket. And yeah, a great time for the club.
So how are you gonna nurse TJ through this? He's obviously be shattered. Great man, Clive Lloyd-like. He'll be shattered, no doubt. So have you got support around? Do you have a counselling program for people like TJ who need to get through the next day or so?
Yeah, there is a counselling program, mainly consists of beer and alcohol.
Yeah.
But that's the program that we have for players.
Yeah. Is it TJ the sort of man to dwell on this and or harden up for the next game and make amends?
Yeah, he'll be hurted in there. He'll be hurted, especially the way he got out. I mean, he's been run out 3 times in the tournament.
So I really need you, now I've got you here in the commentary box, I need to really ask you one more time.
Yep.
It looked very suspicious that TJ was obviously going to be about 10 yards short. Now I want you to put that to rest, that there's no implication or hint that there was any match fixing going on. I need to put that to rest before the referees are looking into it, but I need you as a club representative to put that to rest.
Well,
Now, you're making a good fist of it at the moment.
Can I fully put it to rest? You know, I'm not involved. I believe all llamas not to be involved. You know, I have no knowledge of any fixing going on here at the Phuket Sixes. TJ, yeah, it doesn't look good. That's all I'll say, Paul. It doesn't look good.
It didn't look good. I mean, TJ was the #1 player in the Dings. It all rested on him like the last victory.
Yeah.
Everybody was hoping for a big innings from TJ. He's a bit of a showman.
Yeah.
And we were all sitting around there. The crowd had turned up, spent a lot of money to come in and watch this particular game, and to see him take a perilously bad suicidal run. As I said earlier, it's just like texting your ex after 2 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
Not good. Not a good look for the llamas, unfortunately. I'm sure Mark will be on that tonight.
Yeah. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. That's all I'll say, Paul. You know, obviously we've got replays here. We can look back. I'm sure that the people will be looking into them videos and looking into the scorecards.
Okay, let's put that behind us and move on to the Dongs game. Who have you got coming up?
We're playing Mumbai Strikers in the semi-final of the Dongs. Supposed to be at 11:30. May get pushed back a little bit here, but yeah, we're going into it in full form. Guys have woke up, not 100%. You know, probably far from it, but we'll be giving it a good go. And I'm just hoping that this rain sort of clears up pretty soon, because generally the culture is that when it rains we get on the bays. So the sooner this rain can clear up, the better for us here.
Well, the Mumbai Strikers are a very interesting combination. They're a great team. I expect a big effort from the Mumbai Strikers. They're a very interesting team to deal with. They invested fairly heavily, and they invested in both winning the cup and winning the spoon.
Right, okay.
So they hedged their bets, but they had 1,000 baht at $8 by Vinod. So there's big expectations, and they're actually going into this final as favourite with the bookmakers at $1.75.
Right.
And so the Dongs are $2.10. How do you think the bookmakers have arrived at that?
Well, I think you know, did they come out with us last night, the bookmakers? Have they seen something that maybe other people haven't there? We have had one casualty overnight. Jared Dawson's ruled out. He's woke up with a hangover this morning, sadly. A bad hangover.
Yeah.
And he's struggling to make the game, so we are a man down there. We've got other players we can call on.
Yeah.
We fancy our chances in this game. You know, I think that we've got the batting, we've got the bowling, and the only thing that's going to stop us there will be the weather.
Yeah, I think the weather will go over. It will be right, but
we'll be back on.
The strikers have got a tip-top team. They're in form. They've seen some great batting and bowling. I think you're up against it, and with the loss of that player. Now you mentioned hangover. On the list of injuries, we have hamstrings, we have groin injuries, we have arm, shoulder, pull your shoulder out. So is hamstring a standard? Is a hangover on that list of standard injuries?
There's many hangovers. Generally, we try to get on with it, but in some cases, it does spill over into missing games.
Yeah.
And,
so just like someone's concussed in a game, they're hitting the head, and they automatically get out for the next game. Does a hangover require a check from the doctor to make sure they're right for the next game?
it should do, but I think at Lama Cricket Club it doesn't.
Doesn't it?
We don't work like that. You know, we try to get on with it as much as we can.
Yeah.
In terms of sort of
What about
after
player welfare? What do you do with a guy with a hangover? Do you check on him, come and nurse him? Do you send the nurse in to regularly check on the person? Do you have a female nurse to go in there and check on him?
What we'll generally do is give him another beer and tell him to down it in one. That's the remedy for any injuries.
Yeah.
You know, if you're injured, you've seen Tom Woods there. He's been ruled out for the tournament with a hamstring injury.
Yeah.
So now he's on the piss for the weekend.
Is he?
And,
Okay.
yeah, there's no, you know, we don't believe in rehabilitation. We don't believe in it.
Yeah, who was the player again? Who was the player with the hangover injury?
Jared Dawson's.
Yeah. Is he here? Is he here today?
Yeah, he's here, just down there with the glasses, speaking to Royce.
Yeah, okay. So would player welfare come into play here? I mean, should he be home in the hotel in bed getting nursed?
No, he shouldn't. He's doing the right thing. He's out here today supporting the boys. Probably drinking another beer. You know, that'll get him through the day. There's nothing worse than if you have got a hangover, staying in bed all day.
So could he make the final if you get through to it?
Potentially. This morning I would have said no, but now he looks like he's moving around a little better there. He's welcoming the DB team onto the ground and he's moving a little bit better.
Is that him there?
Still
He's
looks
checking
a little bit, maybe not 100%, but I'm sure that if we make the final,
What's he drinking there?
put himself into the selection committee's mind.
So whose decision is that? Is that Brad Tarr's decision, or is it Mark Burns, or?
No, it's Sami Viflani. He's our captain.
Is he?
He's a captain, leader, legend. Sadly moved over to Singapore now, but he's still a Lama member and legend in his own right. He's leading the Dongs this competition, so he'll make that call. If Jared's fit and he feels like he can do it, we'll get him on the pitch. But good news there, Paul. It looks like the rain's starting to ease off.
Yeah, the rain's subsiding out here. We had half an hour break. Still to continue.
Yep, a few puddles on the pitch. Will it affect the game or not, or do we play through it?
We'll play through this. It'll come again. Don't worry about that.
Yep.
Now, thanks for your honesty here. I'm learning a lot about the Llamas. I initially thought before this conversation they were a tip-top team with a great reputation, but I hadn't heard about the hangover problem that you have at the club. Is it widespread?
Yeah, pretty much.
So who makes the call on the hangover? How's it done?
Well, you know, it goes, because there's that much of it, it kind of goes unnoticed, to be fair. And, you know, if you have a hangover or whatever your condition is, you get to the ground. And
do you have a team doctor?
You
have a team doctor to determine if the hangover will mean that they're out?
We don't bother with that stuff. We don't believe in it. You know, if you can see, if you can physically run, if you can see, you're available.
So what were the signs this morning that the hangover was going to affect the player?
Yeah, signs this morning. A few people woke up with heavy heads. Brad Tarr was one. Jared was another one. Yeah, so we had a few people a bit worse for wear this morning, but they've all made it down here, and that's the That's the ethos of Llama that, you know.
So now Brad's been knocked out. He will come forward and help the Dongs. He's going out to check the pitch, obviously, now.
Yeah.
He'll help the Dongs over the line. Will he give any inspirational speeches before they go out to play?
Yeah, you can see him there looking over. I think as he's walking out to the pitch here, it'll be going through his mind what he's going to tell the Dongs before they go out for the semi-final.
Is it bittersweet for Brad? I mean, Brad, legend of the team, obviously got run out, very good run out.
Yeah.
Bittersweet moment. I mean, I'm sure he'd be dying to play for the Dongs or the Globetrotters, but now he's confined to the annals of history as a failure in this competition.
Yep. He'll have that out of his mind as he goes into the final. You know, he's heading to the final with the Globetrotters. That'll be the focus of his mind. Yeah. You know, he won't be thinking about anything else.
Yeah.
You know, he'll be focusing on the final. He'll get through that, and then we'll get to the questioning about this potential move to the CBB.
Is this some sort of ceremonial process that the Llamas are going through here to get all the players out early, to gather around, support them? Is there any Dongs out there?
Is there any Dongs out there? Yeah, we've got Sher Llamas out there. He's a Dong.
Yeah.
Zahir Khan's a Dong.
Yeah, the Dongs are up there. They're up and about.
A Dong. Mark Stone's a Dong. Jared Dawson a Dong.
Yeah.
So yeah, many a Dongs out there. All the Dongs are here.
Yeah.
All the Dongs are here.
Yeah.
Really.
There's another Dong over there. Yep.
That's our preparation.
Yeah, look at that.
It's one of them.
Yeah. I think they're dispelling any rumours that there's not good in the camp at the moment.
That's
look at the smiles on their faces. I think is that true, or is it just putting it on for the crowd?
Oh, we're always smiling. We're always happy here. But going back to all the Dongs are here now, we like to get there early for games, not just here, but back in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
The preparation's there. I wouldn't say there's much warming up.
Someone's got a shoulder injury there, I noticed. Who's that?
Shoulder injury?
On the left-hand side, there's a shoulder injury going about.
I'm not sure who that is. There's a few injuries out there.
Yeah. Who's the guy with the hangover?
Jared Dawson on the left-hand side. As we look at it, head down, puts his hand up there. He's got a hangover. How are you feeling? Are you feeling any better there, Jared?
So, look, those rumours about Brad Tarr earlier, is this a show of respect for Brad? But I notice he's on the outer there. Is he going to come in and a show of unity amongst the group?
Well, I think the key word there, Paul, is rumours.
Yeah.
These are only rumours right now. We will get to the bottom of it in the fine session. You know, I did actually, now you've mentioned it, I did see him chatting to quite
he's walked away from the group now.
Yeah,
is that a sign?
He's
walked away from the group.
Yeah.
They're after him, but I'm not sure the unity is being displayed as what I liked.
Yeah, he's walked away from the group there. Body language.
Yeah, not good.
We might have to get a person to look into who's a body language specialist. And see.
So who's the guy with the hangover?
Jared Dawson.
Is he out there?
Yeah, he's out there helping.
Is
he? Yes. Sorry, mate.
Can't be that bad.
Yeah, it looks like it's... I actually caught the bus with him this morning.
Did you?
Yeah, he was really struggling, and he did at that point rule himself out for the day. But I just said to him, listen, give it an hour, get a couple of beers down you, and see how you feel. And I think that's what he's done. He looks in better spirits out there. He's helping out with the covers, as are the rest of the Llama boys. You know, so we might see him in action for the Dongs later on. We're not sure yet.
So who would be the casualty if he came up and stepped up, or somebody had volunteered to step down?
That's a question for Sameh Vislani, the leader of the Dongs. I'm only a player. I'm not a selector. Sameh Vislani's our leader of the pack, and he'll make that call later on.
Privately you indicated who you thought should step down. You're not prepared to share that publicly? No, come on.
No. You've
bit.
asked me a lot here, Paul. You've asked me a lot of questions, but we try to keep selection in that separate. We don't want a leak in the camp. We've also got the Mumbai Strikers over there. We don't want to leak our team. There's a bit of a disaster there. It looks like the cover's split in half, and we've now got a patch of water in the middle of the wicket, which is not ideal. But
you send the Llamas in to do a good job, and look what happens, eh? Maybe that's another tactic for the
Maybe it
strikers.
is.
Maybe the
It's-
strikers don't like the wet patch.
Yeah, well, a couple of guys have took the flip-flops off there and just sweeping the water off the pitch.
And it's a half-hearted attempt, mind you. Those rumours about match fixing are not going to go away as a result of this.
Yes, yeah, it doesn't look good again.
It's looking very bad.
Yeah, it's a good effort for the Llama, but as Paul says,
No,
did they do it on purpose to
Tim's trying to stand up for the Llamas, but
to
what I'm
tamper with
seeing
the wicket?
here is not good. It's just painting a very ordinary picture, building a bit of a case for the referees, I'm afraid. Boothie.
Yeah, match referees
Doesn't look good, does it?
Into it doesn't look good. And
I mean,
it's,
that
you know,
attempt to get the water off is pretty futile.
Yeah, Mark Stone there trying
Yeah.
to get the water off. He's a key part of the Dongs.
I notice a lot of people watching one person work. Is that another ethos of the Llama
Well,
team?
that's actually Pro Machama there.
Yeah.
He's had a rough night. He had a rough afternoon. There was
he?
a pourer yesterday. He was pouring the beers.
Yeah.
And as a pourer, you're not only a pourer, you're a drinker too. And he did cop for a lot of drinks yesterday afternoon, and he ruled himself out of the evening. A bad attempt, to be fair. He turned up at Mamma Mia's drinking water, which is poor, and he'll pay for that later on. He'll pay for that later on. We've noted it down. You know, you don't get away with that sort of stuff in Llama. You know, it's okay if you want to have a water in between a few beers, we can accept that. But if you turn up and you're just drinking waters the whole way through the night,
Oh, that's a bad look, really, isn't it?
We'll be looking into your membership.
Yeah.
And you know,
His water.
you're gonna have to redeem yourself.
Yeah,
you know, to redeem yourself, you're gonna be drinking a lot of beer tonight, and that's what he'll be doing.
Is water considered a foreign substance at the Llama outings?
Yeah, only on occasions. I mean, if someone's like we had a situation the other day. Mark Burns come off the pitch. You know, there was questions to whether he was acting. Yeah. First day he came off the pitch. Looked like he was about to collapse, but you know, we give him a bit of water. We weren't sure whether he was acting. He said he wasn't, so you know, we took his word for it. We give him a bit of water. So yeah, in them sort of circumstances, you're allowed a bit of water.
So you
but,
relax
general
the rule. Yeah.
nights out, things like that. Nights like last night, perfect example. If you're just solely drinking water, then yeah, we'll look at that.
Oh,
Pro
that's-
Machama, I can see him there. You know, I can see him looking on. He's looking at the pitch, and he'll be thinking to himself that he needs to do a job with the bat here today to redeem himself.
Is he any good with the bat?
He's a good bat back in the day.
And not
I
now?
think he's not as good as he was. Not as good as he was from what he tells us.
That's a kind way of putting it.
Yeah, he has had runs back in India in the early stage of his career. But whatever you do, don't ask him about it because he won't shut up about it.
No,
So,
I don't ask him about it, but he told me
Yeah.
about it the other night.
Oh,
when
I bet
was
he
having a
did.
drink.
I bet he
Yeah,
did.
Absolutely, yeah. Now, getting back to your fine sessions, last night we invited a couple of the Llama boys in for our fine session, and they got duly dealt with. Do you allow foreign people to come in to your fine sessions and chuck one down on the table?
They were CBB members.
No,
The
they
CBB.
Oh, okay, that was CBB. That might.
No, I got
align
the
with
Llama blokes into the CBB, and I did a couple of slammers with them.
Oh yeah, I did a slam
They were-
actually.
Yeah, well, the CBB, anyway, obviously Kim's giving me the fact that they're CBB members and are allowed to come in and get slammed.
Yeah.
So what's the rules with the Llama? Can I come and give one fine out?
Yeah, I think we're as long as you're willing to take one back.
I'm already
You know,
willing to
you
give
can
as
come
much
in.
as I get, but
Yep.
I have a particular fine in mind that I think needs to be stated.
Can you let us in on that fine, Paul? Now
I
or are you
will
gonna
off
save it till later?
record because I don't want to share it at the moment.
Okay,
I'll let you
okay.
know, and you can determine whether it's worthwhile.
We'll look forward to that fine. But yeah, just remember that you might have to take one back. We do have a rule that it's called a.
Just say
That,
it, really.
yeah, it's called a cock fine.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
very
thanks.
interesting, Boothie. I'm amazed at what you're prepared to tell me off camera. It's opened up my eyes about the Llama group, and I'm also amazed about what you're not keen to share publicly on the microphone.
We've got many stories. You know, the stories are endless, and they keep coming each and every day. So, what I've told you here today is only a snippet of the whole story. Yeah. So, you know, there's many stories. There's many more I could say. Now some of them can't be shared, and won't be shared.
Hey, Boothie, the oval's been now overcome by swallows. Is that a sign for you? One swallow doesn't mean a winter, or one swallow doesn't mean a summer?
Well,
what does that mean? Let's see. Is that part of the plan?
It's not the plan. It's definitely not the plan. But it can happen with the llamas.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of ducks. I've had a lot myself this year, actually. Specifically when Kim's been watching me. Yeah. I did have a.
Is Kim like the mother of the team and looks after the young lads like yourself?
I believe back in the day she was. Yeah. Now residing in the UK, so but back in the day, you know, if you go through old llama pictures, you'll see a picture of Kim there scoring and probably looking after the boys. Done a great job over the years. Still doing a great job here today with the scoreboard.
Oh, she's great. I met her first day for breakfast and I immediately thought Mark Burns batting above his weight.
Yep, that has been said before. Not only
good catch for Mark. He couldn't have done much better.
That's been said before. Not only in Phuket,
number of
UK
times,
as well.
Mark batting above his weight.
Yeah.
Anyway, I suppose he couldn't have done much better. You know, he could have, if he didn't meet Kim, well, where would he be today?
That's right. That's very true, and he'll know that there.
Yeah.
Whereabouts is he anyway, Mark? Is he helping out with the covers, or is he down there? I think he's under the tent.
Yeah,
he'll have his mind on
he'll be under the tent
on the Globetrotters final next year.
He'll be under the tent. He's over there.
Oh, where is he? Oh,
yeah. Kim's pointed out he's over there. She keeps a pretty tight tab on him. She'd know wherever he is all day, all night.
He's one of them people we got to look after him. To be fair, we got to look after him, especially like the other day. Again, questions are still being asked whether it was an act or whether he was actually serious. But he did. Either way, you know, he looked like he was in a bit of trouble. So you know,
off camera and off mic, you refer to him as an aging legend and an aging star. Are you prepared to share that publicly?
I didn't say that. I never said that. You know, he's got.
Well, maybe it wasn't those words, but you intimated that he's probably on the downhill end of his career.
He's got many more years. There's life in the dog yet, and you know, as he's shown throughout this tournament, he's done a good job for the Globetrotters. You know, the guys are in the final, so he's still got a lot to give, and he's got the experience yet that he passes down to his son. And as we saw in the last game, they're running between the wickets well.
To be fair and honest, Mark Burns, a top bloke. I only met him in this tournament. Immediately realised that he's the heart and soul of your club, and is holding him together over many years. He explained that he, has been involved for many years. I think he was involved in the original setting up of the Llamas, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's true. He's actually 3 generations of Burnses at Llama now. Recently, Luke made his debut for the club. Which Mark, I don't think you'll mind me saying, he shed a small tear about as he handed over the cap. A great moment, not just for himself, but for the Llama family. 3 generations of Llama, father. A good moment there for the Llamas.
What's that team there? Is that the Eastern Knights or the Dubai Indians? Is that the Dubai Indian with the little fella there?
The Dubai Indians are out there helping out, and the DB team.
Is that the DB working off the little fella here?
Yep. DB are out there, Llamas are out there.
Yeah. A bit of a family affair.
Yep. Family affair.
That little fella there, I'm sure they're going to be a good cricketer one day. Already out there.
Yeah, he might be
bringing him early.
Done in the ACG in a few years.
Doing it for stamping. He's stamping around, dancing around.
Yep.
Got the hat on, the cap, itching to get out there amongst the players.
Yep.
Yes. Learning from his father earlier how to pace out the boundary line. Yeah. Chirpy little character. Years to come, we'll see him out there in the middle, I reckon, Boothie.
Yeah, I think we might do.
That is Dubai, isn't it? Or was it the Eastern Kings?
Looks like we might not be too far away from the start here.
Yeah, I think the umpires will inspect that wicket. I think Rex will be out there shortly, or Basil. I don't know where they are this morning. Last saw them at the Heavenly Bar about 3 a.m. I'm not even sure they've arrived at the ground.
Puddles are dried up on the outfield.
So, Boothie, tell me about yourself. What part of England are you from?
I'm a northern boy. I'm from Manchester.
Are you?
Yeah.
Are you? Well,
Proud
funnily
northerner.
enough, I'll be travelling through Manchester in April next year. My
Wow.
partner Jane was born in Manchester, and so she's catching up with a few of her family, and might hit you up for a drink.
Yeah, when's that? April?
April.
Maybe there, might not be there. Residing in HK nowadays, but I do get back to Manchester quite often. But when you are there, you'll have a great time. Great city.
Yeah.
You like your football. You got Manchester United, Manchester City. Preferably Manchester City is the better place to go, as Old Trafford is now falling down. So, Manchester City, get yourself there. Old Trafford Cricket Ground, season will be kicking off in April. Maybe you can catch a county game. Manchester, fantastic city.
Yeah,
Fantastic city.
looking forward to it. Apparently the Lakes District up north.
Yeah, Lake
With-
District's a
with
bit
a
north.
visit?
It's maybe a couple of hours drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might hit you up for a few tips about my tour up there.
No, I'll be happy to help.
My partner was from a place called Failsworth.
Yeah, know it well in Oldham.
Yeah?
Yeah, know it well.
And their grandparents were from a place called Wythenshawe.
Withenshaw, yeah. South Manchester near the airport. Actually have a cricket club there. We won the 2020 for Elton at Withenshaw a few years ago. South Manchester, easily accessible to the city. So if you are, where are you staying, Paul? Where are you staying?
I haven't planned the trip yet. We've got on a cruise coming down from Budapest to Amsterdam.
Yep. And
A few nights here, and we're going to fly across to Manchester, and we haven't worked out the extent of the tour yet. You might be able to give me some local advice.
Well, from what you tell me there with Failsworth and Withenshaw, if you get a hotel in the centre, then you're kind of in the middle between them both. Easy to get to Failsworth, easy to get to Withenshaw, and you're in the centre. You're in the mix of things. You're near Old Trafford cricket, Old Trafford football, City of Manchester Stadium.
Yeah.
Many things to do. Many good places to visit, and you got the Burnses there as well, so you might be able to catch up for a drink with them potentially.
So, what sort of sporting events happen at the end of April or early May next year?
Generally, City will be going for the title. United might be in a relegation scrap next year.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's a bit
So you
cool.
might be- if you want to watch a title challenge, go to Man City. If
Yeah.
you want to watch a relegation battle, go to
Yeah.
Man United.
So Man United and Man City, there's obviously a lot of rivalry. Is there a better team between them?
Big rivalry, Manchester City all day.
Yeah, much better, aren't they?
Yeah, much better.
You hear about Manchester United being the better team, but it's Manchester City, is it?
Yeah, Manchester City. It's the blue side of Manchester.
Oh, okay.
Manchester United, a lot of history.
Yeah.
But today,
Do you think they're overrated?
I admire the history. So many titles, 20
So that's a way of saying they're overrated.
20 leagues. 20 league titles, but City catching up on that now.
Yeah.
And I think they'll overtake it in a few years' time.
So any other teams close to Manchester there in locality?
Many teams.
Yeah,
Oldham Football Club, Bolton Football Club, Rochdale. Many. You're not actually that far away from Liverpool either. Maybe an hour drive.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want to watch a football game on a Saturday, you'll be. I wouldn't
Kim
say spoiled
just
for
offered you
choice.
some advice there. She
Yeah.
has a team, does she?
Our local club, Bury Football Club, sadly folded a few years. Well, not folded, but got into a lot of financial issues a few years ago. Yeah, the chairman run him into the ground. So, but anyway, they came back as a Phoenix club and got promoted yesterday. So, yeah, Bury Football Club, our local club, back on the rise, and they'll be in a division higher next year. So that could be a place to go. That could be a place to go. They play Gig Lane, big stadium, nice stadium, and also near the Burnses as well. So you'll be able to catch up with them. They might take you down there. Watch a game of football on a Saturday afternoon.
I actually have followed Newcastle in the football because of their black and white. Those are my local team, so I followed Newcastle. And are they still in the Premier League or the top league?
Newcastle had a good season this year. Won the League Cup recently.
Did they?
Yeah, won the League Cup. And yeah, Tom Woods also a supporter of Newcastle. I think it's due to his best man was a Newcastle fan. And he bought him a Newcastle shirt. I think that's right anyway. Yep, correct. The man himself's there, Tom Woods. Yep. Woodsy, thoughts on Newcastle United?
Yeah, no, I support Newcastle United.
Yeah, they had a sort of a quiet patch there for about 30 years between the Alan Shearer days and the present, but I think we're witnessing a renaissance. The Saudi ownership, brilliant.
Yep. A lot of controversy around soccer, as you said. I watched a documentary on Beckham the other day, and initially it was a Netflix documentary. Now, we've always followed soccer from afar.
Gatorade.
We've watched soccer from afar, as an Aussie rule state, but I thought Beckham was a bit of a dickhead, but after watching the documentary, I had a newfound admiration in what he had to go through when he was ridiculed for knocking someone over in a final or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. That was against Argentina in the World Cup. Yeah, he got sent off. He kicked out. I think it was Simeone, who's now the manager of Atletico Madrid. He kicked out of him in a knockout game in the World Cup, and maybe a bit before my time, so I probably didn't see it as much as maybe what other older people do. But yeah, in terms of a football player, a great player, and he was ridiculed a lot for that, I believe.
Now, can I mention? I'm allowed to mention England and the World Cup.
Well, you can mention it, but it won't be well received by many English people. We waited a long time. 60 years, in fact. It'll be 60 years.
66, wasn't it?
1966. We beat West Germany 4-2 in the final. Sir Geoff Hurst got a hat-trick that day. But that is a very, very distant memory for any English people. My old man, he was only 4 years old when that happened. He's now 60, so...
Have you got close since? You got to a final, didn't you?
We got to the final against
Italy.
Oh no, that was in the Euros. Sorry, we haven't been to. We got to the World Cup semi-final.
That's right.
We got knocked out by Croatia.
That's right. I remember that.
Time,
and your English supporters, they don't give any effort there. They really come down hard on the team when you lose. Have you got any of them amongst your Llama group?
Yeah, plenty of Englishmen. Mark Burns, Benny Cooper, myself. Many. We got any others?
Have you played soccer yourself?
Pardon?
Have you played soccer yourself?
Back in the
we
day,
call it soccer in Australia.
Yeah, a little bit. I was a goalkeeper. I got a lot of injuries. I broke my jaw, broke my nose, so I just decided to call it a bad job at the age of about 21. So I haven't really played since.
So you're concentrating on cricket now?
A little bit. Generally just cricket nowadays.
Yeah. Have you had any aspirations for the senior cricket team, the Test team for England?
Yep, Ashes Ashes in...
No, you personally, you see yourself achieving that high level?
Definitely not. That dreams went many years ago.
Did it? But you had that dream?
Yeah, I had that dream when I was a youngster, but I got sidetracked a little bit. Probably
sidetracked while you're chasing the girls, or?
Yeah, chasing women, maybe drinking beer, doing things I shouldn't do. So yeah, that dream of any England representation went many years ago.
I'll just hand you over to the chairman of the ACST.
Yep.
Excuse me, gentlemen, I won't interrupt for too long after the very interesting conversation you're having. Well done. Just if anybody needs to go and check out of the hotel, Phuket has just asked me to let you know the bus is going back for a trip back. We want you to stay here for the finals, of course, but if you need to go back, the bus is about to leave. Please let her know, or at least get over there. Thank you, Paul, and I'll leave you back to this very enthralling conversation.
So, Boothie, now, I haven't been to England before. Very much looking forward to the tail end of my cruise down the Danube. My son lives in Switzerland. I get over to Europe quite a lot, but this is the first time I'm across to England. You're born and bred in Manchester?
Born and bred in Manchester, stayed in Manchester for 19 years, then moved to Melbourne for a little bit.
Did you?
Yeah, spent about a year there, and then I came back to UK, spent another 5 years, was going to go away again. Sadly, COVID sort of destroyed my travel plans, and then came to Hong Kong on the back end of COVID, and stayed there ever since. So, yeah.
So what's your line of work?
Teaching.
Teaching, yeah.
Yeah.
My son's a teacher in Switzerland.
Nice, very nice.
Yeah, so England, around April, the weather around Manchester?
To be fair, April's a funny month actually, because it's kind of like at the start of summer, late springtime, but I have known very many like really dry, warm Aprils. So you could catch a break there and you could get really dry, sort of 24, 25 degree weather if you're lucky. If you're not lucky, you might get 7 degrees and raining. Yeah. So it's
a bit of a mixed
bag. It's a really mixed bag.
The Lakes District, Upper the Lakes District, tell me about that.
Lake District, you do get a lot of rain there.
Hiking,
a beautiful part of the world. Anyone who hasn't been to the lakes, I would recommend going to the lakes, because if you enjoy walking, you enjoy hiking, that is the place for you, because of some of the lovely walks there in the Lake District. But you have got to be wary of weather there, because it's quite high up, and if we get bad weather, we get storms, then it isn't safe to go out. So you're just banking on a bit of good weather. If you get that, you're in a great spot, a really good spot. Would recommend it to any hikers.
We were thinking of having a few days in Manchester, going up the Lakes District, then maybe sauntering down the west coast. So any guidance through to, we wanted to get down to Cornwall, I think.
Cornwall.
Any stop off on the way, Bath or?
I haven't been to Cornwall. Bath is quite a historic town, I believe. Again, I haven't been down there. My southern knowledge isn't great. I generally spend most of my time in the north. I know everything about Manchester and Leeds, but southern knowledge not too well. Bath, I think it's a historic place. Cornwall is a popular holiday destination. I think they do a lot of surfing down there.
I saw a cooking show in Australia about their oysters down there at Land's End, or Devon or Cornwall or something.
Yeah.
I'd love to get down there. I love my oysters.
I believe that I know the weather's a lot better down there on the Cornwall on the south coast, and I think they do a lot of surfing. Haven't been down there myself, so I believe it's a nice part of the world.
Any other suggested highlights in England for us to visit? We've got to end up in London and then take off, but any other little sweet spots I should look into?
Hot spots, Manchester City, Manchester Stadium, first one, Old Trafford Cricket Ground. We won't talk about the football ground. In Manchester, you've got a few museums. You got the Museum of Science and Industry. If you're into that stuff, that's quite a good.
Is it worth going up to Scotland or Wales, or just leave them out?
I'd probably leave them out. Probably leave them out. Scotland. No, I've never been. I don't have any.
You've never been to Scotland?
Never been to Scotland.
Never been to Wales?
I have been to Wales. Only North Wales though. It kind of borders Liverpool. I think I crept into Wales one time,
you'll end up like my father-in-law. In fact, he was born in Manchester, and always used to tell us about how multicultural he was, and he might have had some Viking blood and Danish and even a bit of Indian. And so he went to one of these ancestry.coms and left his DNA to check it all out. And he came out 99.9% Manchesterian.
Mancunian. Mancunian is the word.
Manchester. Yeah, 99.9.
Wow.
They worked out he hadn't really travelled more than 10 miles from where he lived. Yeah, you're going to be a bit like that? I know you went to Melbourne, but it sounds like you haven't visited Scotland or Wales.
Well, I think my surname is a Northern English surname, so that could be right actually. Obviously, Manchester in the north. I've never done that sort of test, and you know, I would have. Yeah. So how about you then, Paul? Where are you from?
Obviously, I was born in Australia.